Yesterday on Chris Cuomo's CNN show, Democratic, consultant, CNN contributor Hillary Rosen tried to explain to Nina Turner, co-chair of Bernie Sanders' campaign, that she wasn't allowed to use Martin Luther King Jr. or his words when talking about Joe Biden. The whole thing was pretty off the rails. Here's the clip of what happened.
Last quick point to you, Nina.
What Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was talking about, he said, it is the point that the white moderate wants things to be comfortable, and instead of focusing in on that, the bigger threat is not necessarily the white KKK member, but more the white moderate that is more comfortable with keeping things the same or pretending like there is no tension.
Don't use Martin Luther King against Joe Biden. You don't have that. You don't have that standing.
First of all,
I'm sorry, you don't.
Don't tell me what kind of standing I have as a black woman in America. How dare you?
You have a lot of standing as a black woman in America. You don't have the standing to attack Joe Biden using Martin Luther King's words.
Now, obviously, there's lots of things wrong with what Hillary Rosen said there, but to me, one of the things that really stands out is the fact that you could see at the end of that clip, the little smirk on her face. That's what really did it for me. Like, that's what kind of sent me over the edge when watching this. Yes, she was 100% wrong and out of line to claim that Nina Turner didn't have, quote, standing to talk about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., or to try to explain his teachings to Rosen, but then the smirk, wow. Hillary Rosen doesn't get it at all. And no, to be completely fair, Rosen was wrong about what Martin Luther King said, and Nina Turner was correct. Now, things got a little interesting afterwards too, because obviously this clip went viral. Hillary Rosen took a lot of heat on Twitter, as she should have. So she issues probably one of the worst apologies I think I've ever seen. Here is what she said on Twitter in response as her alleged apology. On air Thursday, I said my colleague Nina Turner didn't have standing to use MLK Jr. That was wrong. I am sorry for saying those words. Please, no need to defend me and attack angry black women. They have standing. I always need to listen more than I talk. We rise together. Angry black woman. So in her alleged apology here, she pulls out the angry black woman trope and doesn't understand why that's not something you should say. This is crazy. CNN probably needs to go ahead and rethink Hillary Rosen's employment as a contributor on that network. This was disgusting, and her apology which equally is disgusting. And another point I want to point out in this apology, I am sorry for saying those words. Sorry for saying them. Folks, you always got to look at the words that people use here. She didn't say, I'm sorry I thought that way. I'm sorry I felt that way. I'm sorry I said it. Not that I meant it. And that's the bigger problem here. It's not just that she said it, it's that she honestly meant it. And she doesn't understand, as evidenced through this half-hearted apology, why she was wrong. CNN needs to get rid of her. And we need everyone to understand. If you are white, you don't get to speak for black people. You don't get to tell them what they can or cannot say with regards to icons like Martin Luther King Jr. But that is exactly what Hillary Rosen tried to do there, and she got stomped by Nina Turner during that attempt. Thanks for watching, everyone, and well, here comes the awkward part at the end of the video where I ask you to like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. Also, you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description.